Hey everybody, it's Helen Birch here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be debunking orgasm myths, the truth about sexual satisfaction. So there are almost as many myths about the female orgasm as there are about sex. Your sex life and orgasms can be improved by letting go of these myths. So myth number 1, women have a harder time achieving orgasm than males do. So today's study completely disproved this idea. So it's true that women find it much more difficult to get an orgasm during sexual intimacy or penetration with a man than they do during sex with other women or masturbation. The orgasmic capacity, the ability to orgasm, was found to be at around 90% for both men and women when they were masturbating. The findings of this study, however, were different when considering sexual intimacy. The findings from the analysis using the phrase usually or always orgasmed when sexually intimate are really fascinating. So sexual intimate refers to a sexual encounter, such as when a woman may have orgasmed during the period of being intimate, but not necessarily during penetration. So according to this, 95% of women in the general population are capable of an orgasm, but less than 20% of those women actually experience it. When it comes to penetration and sex with a man, almost 80% of women were unable to orgasm and developed the sexual dysfunction known as situational anorgasmia. So according to this logic, if 80% of women had the same experience, then it must be the norm and not a malfunction that women have trouble orgasming from penetration alone. Myth number 2, there are varieties of orgasms, including clitoral and vaginal orgasms. So Sigmund Freud left behind this myth as part of his legacy. He thought that a clitoral orgasm was an immature variation of a vaginal one, or more precisely, that a vaginal orgasm was one in which penetration had caused the orgasm. So kind of keep in mind also that Freud supported the notion that female sexual hysteria was a mental disorder with symptoms like masturbation, sexual fantasies, having intercourse with other women, and having a high libido. Therefore, it would make sense that he believed anything other than an orgasm through penile penetration. Anything else was considered inferior or immature and was not considered the proper method for a lady to climax. This old-fashioned theory that if you can't orgasm with a man, then there is something wrong with you. Orgasms can have a wide range of sensations, but they all include the clitoris. Your clitoris, which is about the size of your palm and has both internal and external parts, can be stimulated by thought alone, by stimulating another body part, which causes arousal and blood to flow to the clitoris, by directly stimulating the clitoral gland, which is the tip of the clitoris, the bit you can see, by rubbing the entire vulva, or by internally stimulating the vaginal canal wall by pressing or rubbing it with a tongue, a finger, a sex toy, or even a penis. So instead of asking what kind of orgasm I can have, ask what kind of stimulus I require to experience an orgasm. Myth number 3. The most prevalent and healthiest type of sex expression is orgasms during penetrative sex. By realizing that less than 20% of women experience orgasms from penetration, the least prevalent source of an orgasm, then we have already disproved the first component of this myth, which is the healthiest form of sexual expression is out there. So there have been a long-standing idea that women's sexuality was much more strictly regulated when we were instructed that only having sex and an orgasm with males was acceptable and that anything else was shameful, dirty, or inferior. Myth number 4, women can't orgasm unless they're in love. And again, this is another old, outdated idea from a bygone concept that only women in committed relationships, marriage, should engage in sexual activity. And the assumption that if you don't experience an orgasm with a man, then you don't find him attractive or desirable was fueled by this belief that if you loved me, you would, which was used by many men as a form of coercive control and a way of manipulating women into having sex. Myth number 5, a man can tell if a woman has experienced an orgasm. So a man can tell if a woman is experiencing or has just had an orgasm in just one way. She tells him. There might be clear indicators that she is, but most women display orgasms in a variety of different ways. Myth number 6. Orgasmic pleasure is expressed in the same manner by all females. So many women orgasm and or their arousal should be expressed in a certain way according to expectations. Because of this, many women perform their arousal while they are with a partner, which might reduce their enjoyment of the actual act. We learn from porn and sex images that we should be screaming as orgasmic ecstasy takes over us. And some women feel exactly like that, while others become incredibly quiet during an orgasm. And the majority of women exhibit diverse behaviours at various times, depending on the position, the time of the month, the partner. So there is no proper or typical manner to have an orgasm. Myth number 7. Women who can't orgasm have some kind of mental health issue. So it can be more challenging for a woman to orgasm when she has had a trauma, has performance anxiety, relationship problems, or is in poor mental health. But many women have no trouble with any of these things. Despite having positive relationships, a healthy sexual view, many women can still struggle. The capacity to orgasm or not does not represent one's psychological well-being or their mental state. Okay, myth number 8. Squirting isn't real, or that squirting is the best kind of orgasm. So squirting really happens. However, it doesn't appear the way it does in porn because the gushing in those films is basically a performance. Don't forget that porn isn't genuine, it's an act, it's a show. Things like water packets are injected into the vagina to create the special effect for the film, frequently causing the squirting. Squirting is not a sign of a better or worse orgasm, and some women squirt constantly while others squirt occasionally. Even when a woman isn't orgasming, she may squirt, and it's relatively new to feel this need to squirt during sex. And this is mostly due to the depiction in porn, which led many to believe that this was what an all-powerful orgasm looked like. So many women are now expected to squirt in addition to chasing that orgasm. The fluid discharge during squirting is still a subject of debate among many researchers who disagree on its exact nature. Some claim it's just urine, while others believe it to be female ejaculate that contains prostrate hormones that are comparable to semen hormones. But whatever is the case, it does exist. However, it's not for every woman, and it's not something that can be forced or made to happen. Some women do, some women don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Myth number 9, masturbation interferes with the orgasms of a partner. So in 2006, a study found that masturbation does not raise the likelihood of orgasm during partnered sex, but it also does not increase the likelihood of an orgasm if you are very self-conscious, feel pressured to orgasm, or are in a troubled relationship. So the best approach to figure out what works for you is to explore your body and engage in some masturbation. Then, by sharing your self-knowledge with a partner, they will be able to assist you in having an orgasm and also having that confidence to communicate what you like or what you don't like with that partner. Orgasm is not the purpose of sex. Therefore, knowing how to give and receive pleasure during sex with a certain partner makes everything considerably more enjoyable. It's also fantastic to know this information about your partner. So here, sharing what you've discovered about yourself is crucial. You get more knowledgeable about the various orgasmic experiences as you have more of them. Your life force is pleasantly affected, increasing your desire for more of them. Myth number 10, orgasms are a sign of good sex. So just kind of remember the sexiest moment you ever had. What made it stand out so much? So it might have entailed an explosive orgasm, but the proportion of the memory is probably not the most important one. The intensity of the experience, the environment, the relationship with the partner, the foreplay, all of that played a part. Additionally, it could have been the excitement, the sexiness, or the liberation, or the sensations that made it so memorable. Considering that women can orgasm 95% of the time by themselves, we would never want to share our sexual pleasure with another person. So, number 11. Women who are unable to orgasm do not become physically agitated. So a common term for women equivalent of what males sometimes refer to as blue balls is pink walls. Blue balls is a sense of resentment or wrath and vaginal discomfort that can result from unresolved sexual arousal. Women may feel pain through their entire vulva or just their clitoris, an aching or a throbbing sensation, along with the same irritation and rage that men feel when they have blue balls. Just like males, women can experience sexual angst and have that physical pain that comes along with it. Myth number 12. During sex, you should be experiencing numerous orgasms. So after an orgasm, women can maintain a high level of arousal and have a second, a third, a fourth orgasm quickly after. There is no reason that you should be having numerous orgasms if you are among the 85% of women who do not, given that just 15% of them, so just 15% of women say that they can have multiple orgasms. However, there's no reason why your body does not have the capacity to do this with the right experiences, the right sensations. Myth number 13. A woman's sex life includes pretending to have orgasms to make her boyfriend feel wonderful and amazing. In the long term, it could seem as though you're helping your partner, but no one benefits. It's a type of lying to both of you, your partner and yourself, is pretending to have the orgasm. Faking orgasm signals to your partner that everything is fine and that what just happened was completely satisfactory for you, gave you the orgasm and was pleasurable. So you are basically neglecting your own sexual enjoyment. If you fake it, you are encouraging an action from your partner that doesn't work for you and stops looking into any alternatives that could provide the orgasm. Our partners want to please us, and our orgasms are an essential thing that allows them to give us that pleasure, but you need to let them know what they are doing right, what they need to change. In essence, we kind of dig ourselves a deep pit of unhappiness with our partner who believes that everything they do is orgasmic and is blissfully unaware. And yes, it might seem disappointing for a partner when we don't orgasm, but this is typically something that can be worked out with honest and open conversation. Women frequently tell me that their boyfriends have assured them that no one has ever complained or that it's always worked with previous partners, and I usually respond by pointing out it's possible that those former partners lied and faked it too. Also, there is no one-way-fits-all approach to how we reach the point of orgasm, and it's really about you knowing your body, communicating that to your partner, and also allowing your partner to explore what gives you the orgasm. So also, why do women fake orgasms so frequently? Because women are so conditioned to value their partner's sexual satisfaction above their own, and because the most typical form of a paired orgasm is also the least likely to occur, so penetration. Women also engage in this behaviour because they feel guilty for not having orgasmed when they should have. Think of it as a believe it until you achieve it, and then investigate with an attitude of inquiry. This old, outdated idea of fake it until you make it really does not work in this case. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope it's debunked a lot of orgasm myths. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Helen Birch, an award-winning hypnotherapist, sex educator, based in England. I'm also a sexual freedom practitioner, have been a featured therapist in many publications, and I'm an agony aunt for the magazine Pick Me Up. You can sign up to free resources on my website, and they will help you to discover your authentic sexual self. Please also check out my other videos, and I have free consultation slots available, which I will leave all the links in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye for now.